decided to show up in 2021. Thank the Lord, right? The Symphonic Band and the James D. Fuzzy Randolph Kiltie Band are glad you're all here with us for a few minutes this afternoon. And we wish you all a very happy St. Patrick's Day. We're sort of used to this COVID protocol and we're sort of not, so thank you for bearing with us on that. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. From glen to glen and down the mountainside. We all know the tune. We all know the tune. And it's actually set to the tune of Londonderry Air. Lovely, lovely piece of folk music. Our focus tonight is shape note hymn singing and folk music in general. And I hope you enjoy this. If you had a chance to QR code our program, you'll see a lot of program notes on there that give you the background of some of these pieces. We hope you'll look at that. Lots of great information there. This concert is the first of two concerts where we're going to celebrate shape note hymn singing and folk music. The choir will be presenting some of my arrangements in April. April 22nd is the date we're shooting for if it's not raining. So keep an eye out for those kinds of things that are coming up. Shape note singing is a tradition of a cappella hymn singing, and these guys are still practicing this art today. They sit in what they call the hollow square. Tenors holding the melody, upper harmony, which they call the treble, bass, and alto was added last. And they sit facing each other and they sing spiritedly. We hope you enjoy these pieces that are taken from that tradition. We're going to begin with a variation tune, and it's variants on a shape note tune by Johnnie Vinson. Johnnie Vinson is at Auburn University. He's done quite a bit of study in the shape note tradition. But listen to these words. The first line of the hymn tune, Pisgah, when I can read my title clear. Isn't that beautiful? Jesus, thou art the sinner's friend. As such, I look to thee. Now in the bowels of thy love, O Lord, remember me. Variants on a shape note tune, Johnnie Vinson. We have a few friends of the band that are here with us today, spread out all over. There's only about 20 of them, so it's okay to hear 20 applauses. Okay, feel free to share that. Last fall, I had the opportunity to do some sabbatical leave study. This is the culmination of that study, as I alluded to earlier. My grandfather, my dad's father, was a singing master in the Southern singing schools. And so he taught music lessons in a rural country setting in Mississippi. And he taught out of shape note hymnals. And they learned music theory, and they learned just how to actually read music with the solfege having different shapes to the notes. So if you look at it on the page, it looks really strange to somebody who's only seen round notes their whole life. And my dad actually calls me a round noter, if that tells you anything. You guys know it by the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. There's also a four shape theory that is just fa, sol, la, mi. So they only had to learn four shapes. Both of those traditions have kind of come together, and I knew a lot about the seven shapes because that's what I was raised singing. My family would meet out on my grandmother's porch, and somebody would start singing a melody, and pretty soon we had four-part harmony. You guys have heard the mama sang bass, or daddy sang bass, mama sang tenor. Me and little brother would join right in there. That was my family. So if that tells you a little bit about that. And I knew a lot about the seven-shape tradition, but I didn't know a lot about the four-shape tradition. And a lot of what we're playing tonight for you is from the four-shape tradition. If you have not heard of Horatio Spafford, you should find out a little bit about this man. There are many great hymn writers that have fantastic stories. Fanny J. Crosby, who was blind, but had quite the ear, and could write melodies like nobody's business, and could write lyrics that would just tear at your heartstrings. This is one such hymn, and the program tells you a little bit about it, that Horatio Spafford was sending his family to Europe, to England, and he was going to join them later. And they fell upon a storm at sea, and all but his wife perished in that storm. And he turns around and writes the most beautiful hymn text you've ever heard. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. And Lord, haste the day when the face shall be sight, the clouds be rolled back as a scroll, the trump shall resound, and the Lord shall descend. Even so, it is well with my soul. This is a lovely setting by David Holsinger, a friend of mine from Lee University, and I just absolutely love this setting of It Is Well With My Soul. You can't see, but I'm smiling very big after that one. I think a few years ago, band composers found out about this wealth of material, original material, and they began to use it as music education, educational pieces for bands. This next one is a fantasy, Fantasia. It starts with the theme and then it goes everywhere with the theme in very folk, homespun kind of ways. In the front of these hymnals, there's a whole section on music theory and how to read music and how to learn to read music. Because the thought of these hymn composers and publishers was that the more people in the congregations, the more believers understood about music and about music making, the better their gift to God and the better their gift to each other, to spur each other on to love and good works. Singing and making melody in your heart. And so that's why this means such a special amount to me. There was a whole movement from New England that Lowell Mason, those of you that are in education may know the name Lowell Mason because he is known as kind of the father of music education in the United States. And he held with the shape note tradition to the point of the 7 shapes, but he was kept being drawn back to Europe and European music making, which called for round notes and understanding of keys and that type of thing. The Southerners took it down the Appalachians, this tradition, but they stayed kind of with the four shapes, and kind of everybody knew these pieces, these hymns. Some of you may have family members that passed down the family Bible. They did the same thing with these hymnals. They passed them down for generation and generation. One of the lovely things that I had happen for me during the sabbatical was I was holding books, hymnals from the 1700s. It's the most amazing thing. And I read text after text, lyric after lyric, and it is amazing how much these people were looking to heaven and a time of pure delight. This next piece is based on a lovely hymn. It's similar to Amazing Grace in its simplicity, but it's called Belerma. If God is mine, then present things and things to come are mine. Isn't that a lovely thought? If God is mine, then present things and things to come are mine. There is a land of pure delight where saints immortal reign. Infinite days exclude the night and pleasures banish pain. It's a lovely thought. And that was the belief of these guys. And it worked into music education as well, the classroom and so forth. My grandfather told us of times when the whole region, the whole county would gather at the courthouse, believe it or not, and sing these hymns because everybody knew them. It didn't matter if you were Baptist, Methodist, Presbyterian, it didn't matter. Everybody knew these hymns. So, we bring to you Fantasia on a theme from the Southern Harmony. The Sacred Harp was 4 shapes. Southern Harmony went into 7 shapes down in the South. So we have B.F. White's Sacred Harp and his brother-in-law, William Walker, who believed in the 7 shapes and went down south with that. So this is from the Southern Harmony, the 7-shape tradition. Fantasia on a theme from the Southern Harmony. These guys will tell you that medleys are the hardest to play. Go ahead. I will tell you, the next thing on my list says, give a synopsis of the year. Live music and COVID is tough. Live music and COVID is tough. We started the semester online for 2 weeks. Then we spent 2 or 3 more weeks in sectional small groups. Then we finally got to get together. So these guys are doing a Herculean task in front of you today. It is just about not enough time to be able to put all this together, but we so wanted to share this music with you. This next piece, I guess it is a hymn, but I think it could be classified as folk music. It's just a beautiful little 3/4 tune. I hope you enjoy it. This is called Appalachian Air. It is off the hymn Resignation. My shepherd will supply my need. Through every age, eternal God, thou art our rest, our safe abode. High was thy throne ere heaven was made, or earth thy humble footstool laid. Beautiful poetry, beautiful poetry. This is called a fuguing tune. It's a part of the shape note tradition, and you'll hear people enter in different places all over as if it were a fugue. This piece has stretched us. We're going to have a good time playing it for you. The total collection of 3 pieces is all 3 are hymn tunes, and J. Bocook just calls it Sacred Harp because it's so perfect to explain the whole tradition to you. We are so thankful once again that you came to be with us today, that you guys are with us virtually. Thank you for sharing this. This is the first concert that I've conducted since a year ago Christmas, and it just makes my heart happy to be with these marvelous people who work so hard. There's really only 2 or 3 majors and 1 or 2, well, actually probably more minors, music minors in this group. And they and the chorus members just get together and make music because it makes their lives better. The folks in the theater program just love being a part of productions. The guys that are throwing clay on the wheel or painting, go see an exhibition. There are a couple of coming up. You can look on the back of the program, the very bottom of the program, if you're looking virtually, and see all of the events that are coming up. Even during COVID days, the Fine Arts Department is alive and well, and we're working hard. And it's mainly just so we can have times like this to share what we've learned and the things that make our heart happy. If we didn't do any other piece tonight besides the hymn song of Philip Bliss, it would have made me happy. But a full program of 6 tunes is quite a feat. And if you guys that are in the house don't mind, help me thank these guys that are sitting up here. Wear your mask. Get the vaccine as soon as they give it to you. Be smart. Keep Waynesburg well. We want to be able to share these hymns in person as often as possible. I hope you enjoy this. Sacred Harp, and this is Stratfield. Welcome, John. Woo. Well, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed the hymn tunes. Down near the end of April, we've got, well, let's start with next week. You got to come see the show, at least virtually. Double Wide, Texas. These guys are so funny. The script is funny. The cast is hilarious. I'm going to go just to be a laugh track for everybody because it's Southern Harmony, and I love all of that. There are 2 art shows coming up. Take a look at both of those. Macy Caines is next, and then there's a student art show. We have 2 senior music ministry majors that are going to be here. You'll be hearing about that. Just take a look because the how to be a part is changing daily. It just depends on the weather, depends on how COVID is running among us. So just take a look. We'll try to publicize it as best we can so that you can be a part of any and all of that you want to be. At the end of April, we have a Broadway review. We're shooting for the 17th of April. Is that right, Eddie? 17th? Broadway review. We know you can come to that one because we're hoping to shoot it right in front of the GPAC outside. You can bring your blankets, sit on the commons, and enjoy a nice concert outdoors of Broadway tunes. It'll be fun. And then the next week will be the hymn tune concert by the choir out here in the tent. And I'll be giving you some more information about shape note singing. So I hope you enjoy that. Thank you for coming today. Enjoy the sunshine. There's not much left today, but tomorrow we're supposed to have a little bit more. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming. Everybody wave. You see their St. Patrick's. They're all happy. All right. You can't tell they're smiling under these. Thank you for coming.